question while we wait for Pat to get things set up.
We are live, just so you know, yes.
So, will this work like a commission meeting so the public will call in? Is that how it works? And then you'll call them up with a question or their comment?
Yes, so currently we have 2 attendees of the public called in,
Okay,
5 minutes prior to the hearing. And so it'll work exactly like the commission will.
yeah, I just wasn't sure if they would show up on the YouTube page like we're looking at, or it'll be on the call thing. So we can't see the call list, right? You're the only one that can see that. Is that right? Oh, no, I see it now.
I was gonna say, if you click participants, can you see it?
Now I can.
Yeah.
All right, I'm catching up now. Yep. Got it.
I'm learning new things after 14 months of this Zoom thing. It's amazing what you learn every day. So we're about 4 minutes to the start of the hearing, and so I'm going to wait before we get started so that make sure everybody gets logged in. Just so everybody is aware, we are live on YouTube, and we are currently, we are not currently recording, but we will be recording this hearing once it gets started. But you are live on YouTube.
I'll be right back, Jess. I'm just gonna go grab some water.
Great. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, the hearing is scheduled to start at 6 p.m. We are going to wait a few moments to make sure everybody who would like to provide comment gets logged in. So sorry for the long silence. It is 6:00 p.m. I'm just going to give a little bit more time for people to get logged in before we start the hearing. I'm just going to give about a minute or two and then we'll get it started. It's 6:01. I'm going to go ahead and get the hearing started. My name is Jessica Snyder. I'm a paralegal for the department, and I will be the hearings officer for this evening. Joining us for staff, we have Eileen Rice, the Fisheries Division Administrator. Don Scar is also in attendance. He's our Recreation and Access Bureau Chief within the Fisheries Division. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll also see Mr. Pat Lashetti's name. And he is running our IT and making sure everything's running smoothly. So I'd like to thank all the staff for attending tonight and making sure that this goes off smoothly. The hearing is being recorded and being broadcast live on YouTube, just to make you aware of that. Comment provided at tonight's hearing bears the same weight as any written comment that may have been received. So if you are watching on YouTube and are concerned about providing written comment, you may still do so until tomorrow. Typically, we have forms available at our hearings when they're face-to-face to receive notices for our administrative rules. Those do not include fishing or hunting regulations. And where to request to be added to that list of persons to receive notices is found on paragraph 6 on page 396 of the rule notice. That's the second page of the rule notice. That is separate from the public comment address, just to make you aware of that. This is the format for the hearing tonight. We will start with a question and answer period. Those questions will only be to get clarification on the rule proposal notice. If we delve any further outside of that, I will probably cut you off. I will not be taking public comment at that time, only because we want to make sure that we get your comment within the public comment segment so we can make sure we get it recorded in that fashion. Then we will have the public comment period. These comments received will be used by the commission to make a reasoned informed decision. And then I will close the hearing. One thing that we're required to do is to notify members of the public about the rule review committee. The administrative rule review is a function of interim committees and the Environmental Quality Council. The EQC has administrative rule review, program evaluation, and monitoring functions for the Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. The EQC has the authority to make recommendations to an agency regarding the adoption, amendment, or repeal of a rule, request that an agency prepare a statement of the estimated economic impact of a proposal, and poll the members of the legislature to determine if a proposed rule is consistent with the intent of the legislature. The EQC welcomes comments and invites members of the public to appear before them, and their meetings are posted on the legislative website, which is leg.mt.gov. So with that, I'm going to ask Eileen to just provide a quick overview of the rule proposal.
Thanks, Jess. Hopefully everybody out there can hear me. This should be really brief. So the rule that's being proposed for amended is in regards to the implementation date of the Madison River commercial use cap. And for those of you looking for the rule numbers, is 12.11 .6705. And the proposal is to change that implementation date from January 1, 2022 to January 1, 2023. In terms of the reasoning, this proposal was requested by the Commission to extend the implementation date in order to provide time for the appointment and meeting of the work group to develop recommendations for the Commission to consider. That's the only part that's under consideration right now of the Madison River recreation rules. So with that, Jessica, I'd be happy to take any questions, and Dawn Scar's also available for questions.
Great. Thank you, Eileen. So again, this question and answer period is only to ask for clarifying questions regarding the rule proposal notice. Press 9 to raise your hand if you have a question. I will then unmute you. And then if you are watching it also on YouTube and calling in, we just ask that you mute the YouTube feed. Otherwise, we get this horrific feedback. So if you could do that, that would be great. And with that, go ahead and press *9 if you have any questions. There are 3 people called into attendance, Eileen, and I am not seeing any questions at this time.
Perfect.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to open it up for public comment. Again, if you wish to provide comment, please press *9 to raise your hand. I will then unmute you and provide your comment. I ask that you state your name and spell your name. I am not going to restrict the comment time, since when there are only 3 people here to provide comment. I just ask that you be respectful of everybody's time this evening, and try to restrict it to about 3 minutes would be great. So with that, if you want to raise your hand to provide comment, I will unmute you. Okay, I have phone number ending in 900. It appears that you're muted on your end. If you could press *6. Looks like you're unmuted. Go ahead and go phone number ending in 900.
Hi, my name is Brooks Scott. That's spelled first name Brooks, last name Scott, Scott.
Thank you.
I would just like to ask the commission to consider moving forward with the recreation plan with its original date of 2022. I think a lot of parties involved in this had been waiting for some action to be taken at some point in time, and saw a light at the end of the tunnel at the end of December when the plan was put in place. Realizing that the last negotiated rulemaking committee failed to put forward any sort of consensus, I don't see a lot of hope for waiting for another committee to come forward and work on this again when we've had what it seems like a very, very long period to get to this point in time. I think everybody understands that the process for implementing rules on the Madison is messy and challenging, and there are a lot of voices, but what we're facing is we can no longer do nothing. The river is going to crash eventually if we continue to overuse it. And there's no disputing the effects of climate change on the river. And the fish don't have a voice here, and we need to be able to, you as the agency, as FWP, need to provide that voice and put something in place so we can move forward. I realize it's not perfect, but I urge the community to move forward so that we can start seeing the effects of trying to manage the recreational use of the river, and not have to wait another year for something to actually begin this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Are there any other public comments? I only see one other person and they're not raising their hand. Again, to raise your hand on Zoom, just press *9 if you're on the phone, or down in the menu at the lower half of the screen, you can raise your hand there. It appears that somebody else has just called in. If you wish to make a public comment, please raise your hand. That's *9 to raise your hand. So I have phone number ending in 739. It appears you may be muted on your end. You may need to press *6 to unmute yourself. There you go. Phone number ending in 739.
Hi, are you able to hear me now?
I can, thank you.
Hi, my name is Amanda James. I'm the field manager for the BLM field office. And I just wanted to submit a comment that we are very supportive of the extension for issuing this rule, as the working group will kind of talk through some of these tough management issues on the Madison. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else wish to provide public comment? Not seeing anything. I'm just going to do one last call for public comment. I don't see anybody else calling in or anybody else raising their hand. So with that, I am going to close the public comment period for this hearing. If you wish to submit written comment, you may do so through tomorrow, and that is the cutoff for any public comment received. I thank everybody for your time this evening, especially staff and members of the public that joined in. Thank you very much. At this point, the commission is scheduled to make a decision regarding this rule proposal at their June 24th meeting. That commission agenda will be posted on FWP's website. Eileen, I saw you unmuted. Did you have anything to add?
I just wanted to say thanks, Jess.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Eileen. And with that, I'm going to end the hearing. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening.